The truth about Blox Fruits Update 20. Now, before we unbox the demon that is the context of this video, I need to let you guys know that you should not attack me for telling you guys the truth. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, as I usually am. If the Blox Fruits Update 20 hype could be put on a scale, it would probably absolutely destroy it. This update has been hyped up for a whole year, and it was so big that it managed to crash the platform not once, not twice, but on 3 different occasions. Once before the update even landed, the other one was whilst the game was still in maintenance, and the last one was sometime after the update landed. This makes Blox Fruits the biggest game on the platform in the whole of its entirety because it peaked at 1.7 million concurrent players. Not even AAA games can compete with that standard. Now, for a game that's had a lot of hype behind the update, the actual update itself was, in easier words, mediocre. There was a lot of things that was promised from the developers almost a year ago that never actually came with the update. And before you guys scream at me and say, hey, this was meant to be a multi-part update, they added one of the many things that they promised. So this quote-unquote multi-part update, even if they were being serious or being honest, would take 8 to 10 months to actually implement into the game. Now, for a game that hasn't updated in almost a full year, I genuinely think it's pathetic the amount of content that came into the game, a long amount of time they had to work on it. And let's be serious, the developers for this game are multi-millionaires. They're not kids. They have enough resources to fund what they needed and wanted to do. One of the many things that weren't added that was promised this update was the map changes. The first and second sea were meant to get revamped and changed, and that never happened. There were multiple big, well-known Blox Fruits content creators that were genuinely confused by this. Went out into second sea to check if anything had been changed, and it was all the same.
First and second sea was supposed to be changed. Let's go ahead and check that out right now. And nothing looks changed. What the hell? I thought first and second sea were supposed to be completely revamped.
Now, this was added to the game, however, I think it was kind of cool. Model changes. I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't needed, nor did anybody ask for it. However, it wasn't a bad change. The fruits actually look kind of cool on the most part. However, I do think it's kind of childish that they changed it to look child friendly. I'm not too sure why they did that. I guess if you look at it from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense. Now, the flying boats look cool as well. However, they don't actually add any gameplay incentive or actually add any content to the game. Kind of like the fruit models, these features were just added to the game almost like a skin slapped on top of what already existed. None of these two features, the fruit models and the flying boats, impact gameplay in any way, shape or form, and they don't actually add content to the game. So as a whole, these two features being added to update 20, yes, it's cool and yes, it's something, but it's not worth waiting a year for. Now, the only good and big changes that were actually promised by the developers that came this update was the weapon revamps. And they were actually kind of impressive. The only thing that takes away from the weapon revamp is that every weapon only has 2 abilities, 2 moves. So in actuality, it didn't take them that long to revamp any of the weapons, and it isn't that big of a deal. Regardless, the fact that they did it actually is cool, and most of the weapon skills genuinely look better now. And I'm not gonna lie, it's somewhat satisfying to use them now. Again, this definitely wasn't worth waiting 1 year for. And for the Leviathan, or whatever you want to call it, the big giant sea beast looking creature. This was meant to be some sort of raid boss or a new sea beast type of boss raid that nobody has actually seen. The spawn rates for this was so low that the developers decided to increase it and add things that help increase the spawn chance, and nobody has seen it. And most of the content creators that show guides on how to spawn it in their videos, I said most, I mean absolutely all of them, have never seen it or fought the boss. I'm not too sure why you're making a guide video on something you've never actually seen before. But from what I have seen, there is a mini version, like a shark thing, and that within its entirety is literally just people running around spamming abilities until it dies. Genuinely underwhelming. I'm assuming the Leviathan is exactly the same. Most sea fights that happen in the game, everybody's using the Buddha no Mi in order to actually fight on water, that or Magu, so you can stand on the water and fight, and everybody just spams abilities. It's genuinely not that great of a deal. I'm not too sure why everybody's hyped for the Leviathan if the actual fight itself is underwhelming. It's literally just fighting a sea beast. Now, of all the things that were added and all the things that were promised to be added that were never added, the most disappointing thing, in my opinion, is the progression revamp. That is the only reason I would have looked forward to this update, because as most of you guys know, but I can understand why other people do enjoy it. It does have some satisfaction to it. Developers did promise that the game was going to get revamped, progression, questing systems, exploration systems, and even a UI change, but none of these important things for the update 20 actually came. None of it was added to the game. Now, I don't know about you, me personally, I would never wait a whole year for something that when it finally came was below expectations. This game made the platform crash on multiple occasions, and the update was genuinely underwhelming. But that's just me, and that's it for the video. If you guys made it to the end, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know how you feel about the update in the comment section down below. Me personally, I don't care if you attack me, but if you do, I need a 10-page essay on what you enjoy about the update. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.